Apparently, Ben Shapiro can't control his trolls. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. It's another video that I definitely want to tackle. And obviously, this subject is a little bit more controversial, but it's a reaction to a Ben Shapiro video in which I think Ben Shapiro is incredibly intelligent. I'm not sure how effective he is anymore at convincing kids at colleges that they should think differently than the institution and society is teaching them. But let's get into this video anyway. So apparently Ben Shapiro is at a North Carolina college. Somebody sent me this clip. It's not that long. It's only about 2 minutes long. So let's just go ahead and jump into it and see what's happening.
I'm a mathematician and a physicist here, a double major, and I also just won the most prestigious award in the country to pursue research at any institution I want, the National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellowship. So I think I'm pretty, qualified to say that most of what you're saying is based on old data. But my question to you, and so I want you all to realize that.
But sure.
I can already see where this is going immediately.
For example, gender identity disorder, that's the DSM-4, bro. We use the DSM-5 now for psychologists to be able to talk about...
I literally cited the DSM-5 in the speech, and it's called gender dysphoria, which is the term that I use throughout the speech, not gender identity disorder.
You sound like a bozo, bro. And you get no pussy, and you can't even make your wife wet, bro, so what's good?
I wanted to watch the whole video before I stopped it, and I think I am. I'm going to go ahead and continue to play the video. Then I'm going to back it up and react to it really quickly. But I didn't – I try not to watch this stuff before I start recording and start looking at the video so that I can get an authentic thought in real time exactly what's going on. But you can already see that this is going bad.
So, let me just say – the nice thing about having several small children is I don't feel the necessity to have my masculinity
challenged. If we're using a
by
Western
like
colonial idea of gender, then why should it apply? If we're using because the gender binary is a Western colonialist framework of gender.
You're right. Men and women don't exist in any other culture.
No. Think about Native American. Third gender people. I'm not saying that. Third gender people exist in Native American societies, Western African societies, like Southern Native American societies, like Mexico. So in other places that are not white dominated,
and they
like
are
the United
incorrect.
States or Europe,
really
and so
you're
saying white, so non-white people. I'm a mathematician and a physicist. You cannot tell me.
So I have a question.
And also, you're not a biologist.
So I have a question.
I'm 20.
As a mathematician and a physicist, what in the hell do you know about human biology?
And you got your law degree from Harvard. What do you know about biology?
You can't. Everybody came there to see Ben. Apparently, he's the big dog. He draws the big crowds.
You got your law degree from Harvard.
We're gonna bring it back.
And frankly, I would ask another question. If your logic is so flawed as a mathematician and a physicist, I would suggest that whichever institution gave you an award, revoke it immediately.
Hold on, let me back that up. All right. We're gonna break this whole video down really quickly. I don't think it's gonna take that much time because it's not. I don't really care about whether men can be women and women can be men as far as the context of the conversation. I have a completely different take on what's happening here, obviously.
I'm a mathematician and a physicist here, a double major, and I also just won the most prestigious award in the country to pursue research at any institution I want, the National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellowship.
He said that initially to try to qualify his statement. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like he said that to try to give himself some ground or some high ground as far as trying to justify, this is what my background is. As though your words in your debate still holds true, and that means nothing whatsoever. I know people that have a bunch of degrees and they stupid than a mug. So, he looks like a fool. He got a man bun, a nappy bun in the back, and then some bangs in the front, and then he has a wife beater on at a major event. I wouldn't believe that this guy was anything other than a fool. I mean, I'm not even sure how he got the mic at all. He looked like a certified fool coming on to an event to see Ben Shapiro. Has to be free because this guy looks like he has nothing. So he said he's a mathematician and a physicist.
So I think I'm pretty, qualified to say that most of what you're saying is based on old data. But my question to you, and so I want you all to realize that.
Last month, but sure.
he already came in there to try to prove him wrong, and that's the problem with conversations. Is it's not a really conversation. It turns into a debate. A conversation is an opportunity for me to hear you to hear me, and then you make an informed decision. But he already came in with these talking points, which it sounds like he already researched it. And he keeps saying "like" at the beginning of everything he says.
Like, for example,
just right there, like right there.
Gender identity disorder. That's the DSM-4, bro. We use the DSM-5 now for psychologists to be able to talk.
I literally cited the DSM-5 in the speech, and it's called gender dysphoria, which is the term that I use throughout the speech, not gender identity disorder.
You sound like a bozo, bro. And you get no pussy, and you can't even make your wife wet, bro. So what's good?
Oh my God. I wouldn't even call this boy a square. This guy is a geek and he's trying to sound cool. And it's the corniest of corny people trying to have a conversation with people that's actually intelligent and has made success of themselves. But this is why you don't talk to children. This is why you don't debate with kids. I'm not sure how they're managing what's going on with this whole conference or speech or whatever like that. But immediately the microphone should have been yanked from in front of his mouth, because when you give trolls and people a voice for too long, then they feel confident doing stuff like this. The dude talking about is he don't even get pussy and he can't make his wife wet right after he's trying to justify his argument by saying he's some kind of mathematician and physicist that has a grant. It is the most ignorant thing, and if he was that smart, then he would understand that whatever it is that he was doing is making him look incredibly bad, in addition to what he's dressed like and what he looked like. But there's so much wrong with that statement. And look at him. Look at his dumb smile. Look at the girl with the microphone in her hand. Somebody should have coached her. She should have had an earpiece in her ear to say, okay, remove it from this guy. He can't participate anymore. It's pretty stupid. Even a crowd turned against him. So stupid.
Number one, let me just say, the nice thing about having several small children,
and he won't let him even talk.
I don't feel the necessity to have my masculinity.
If we're using a Western colonial idea of gender, then why should it apply? If we're using, because the gender binary is a Western colonialist framework of gender.
You're right. Men and women don't exist in any other culture.
No. Think about Native American.
Nailed it.
Third gender people. I'm not saying that. Third gender people exist in Native American societies, Western African societies, like Southern Native American societies, like Mexico. So in other places that are not white dominated,
and
like the United
incorrect.
States or Europe, and so you're
I'm
saying white, so non-white
incorrect.
people. I'm a mathematician and a physicist. You cannot tell me.
What does being a mathematician and a physicist has anything? What does that have to do with determining whether or not men are women and women are men? I don't understand that. What does your ability to be able to do math has to do with anything related to your argument as far as who's a man and who's a woman?
Question.
And also, you're not a biologist.
So I have a question.
I'm 28.
As a mathematician and a physicist, what in the hell do you know?
How old did he say he was? 28?
About human biology.
And you got your law degree from Harvard. What do you know about biology? You got your law degree from Harvard.
And frankly, I would.
It sounds like they started drowning out his microphone and started removing it from in front of his face because, yeah, listen, we're only gonna let you be so disrespectful to the speaker.
Ask another question. If your logic is so flawed as
Hey, Ben is kind of crisp up there. He must be doing really well on the internet.
A mathematician and a physicist, I would suggest that whichever institution gave you an award, revoke it immediately.
Facts. Again, this speaks more towards the issue behind our inability to be able to communicate effectively, and more importantly, exactly how empowered the idiots of society feel to be able to have conversations with people that's actually doing the work and understand things and are able to debate effectively. So I don't have any other thoughts. I hate trolls. I absolutely despise people that gets on platforms and they finally get their 15 minutes and they can't communicate effectively. It aggravates me. It bothers me. I think that they are some of the most ignorant people in the world, and I choose only to give them a voice to make themselves look bad. So congratulations, guy with the bangs and wife beater on. with a puff ball in the back and then a make-believe man bun in the front, you played yourself, little homie. And make sure you guys subscribe to the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat if you're watching this as a premiere. We doing the work in there. We got a Patreon exclusive meetup event, which I'm going to. I go to a different city every month, happening in May in Las Vegas. And then in addition to that, we have the business mastermind groups that we're putting together businesses where I'm putting up my own money in order to make sure that we, build these things out in real time, because I feel like the best way for y'all to learn. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.